Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be and what time you're watching this. Right now it's Saturday, so the trial ended on Thursday. Again, Friday was a holiday. It's the 16th of August. It is about 11:42, and the reason I'm doing this is because I'm getting some great feedback and a lot of comments from people who support me and my daughter. And it doesn't mean they're not, no one's really trashing my wife, because most of you don't know her. Those that do know her have been sensitive about the comments, and I can, value and appreciate that very much, the friendship. And this whole thing is not about anything other than accountability. And, whether she was found guilty or not, to sit there for 3 days, go through the entire process of picking a jury, watching me walk in. We haven't seen each other in months, and sit down there and listen to me for 1.5 days, and then listen to what the police officer had to say, and then ultimately not taking the stand, which she didn't need to, so it was the best decision. But that would have been a bad decision if she took the stand, and it's obvious reasons. But I really forgot to say something that was crucial in this entire process. And that's really the only reason I'm leaving this blog, because she was ready to plea. They came to us, I think it was a week ago yesterday. I think it was either a week ago yesterday or Thursday. So, 7 or 8 days ago, I got a call from the prosecutor, and the prosecutor said, okay, they're proposing a plea deal. And I said, okay, what would that be? And he said, she's willing to plead guilty to a lesser charge, obviously, which would be, I think it was assault 3. So it's not domestic violence or abuse of a family member, same thing, but it's kind of a lower end misdemeanor. And abuse of a family member is a misdemeanor. It's not, it holds a possible sentence of a year, but to plead to a lesser charge would come with 1 year probation, which she was agreeing to, and it would also come with anger management classes, which she was agreeing to. So they came to us before the trial, before they met on Monday, which would have set all the ground rules for the trial coming up. So Monday was really the time to accept it or deny it. But he let me know before the weekend, so we had a chance to kind of, what were we gonna do, type of thing. And he respected me. I told him that I trust whatever he decides, because he'll know what's best. But I said, in my opinion, I want to go all the way. And it's not because I hate her at all. It's not because I'm vindictive, and I'm not, okay? It's because, again, what I discussed earlier, it's about accountability. And she hasn't really been held accountable for her wild and crazy chaos she's caused for a long time. I mean, over a year of chaos. 2024 was the worst year of my life, and by far. And I found my mother dead on the ground when I was younger. My brother died in a car accident. I don't have a perfect childhood either, but I don't make excuses. And it was, honestly, how I thought about it was in her best interest or benefit, so she wouldn't get killed someday. It may sound weird to some of you, or let's let her go and she'll deal with it herself. But that's just not how my mind works. It's not how I tick. I explain it this way. I'll always love her, but I'll never, ever be in love with her ever again. Even if she were to get better and heal and see things differently and get past things, it just would never happen, because that's just not me. The betrayal, the disloyalty, you don't deserve me, you know. And I'm just gonna spend this time focused on my physical. Obviously, get this. I'm like, oh my goodness. I look at myself in the videos. I'm like, oh my goodness. You know, I know I've been gaining weight, but my God. But it's all good, you know. I'm not affected. I just get focused and motivated. I turn my frustration into motivation. But getting back to her, I really, you know, when she got arrested that time, and I didn't bail her out of jail for a week. And honestly, I was with the kids the whole time because I was at home, right? And I kept asking the kids, and they wanted her to stay in there. You know, my stepson kind of denies that, but that's the truth. I asked them, you guys want me to bail mom out? And they both were very clear. She should stay in there for a little while. Which is the right decision, because she was just causing chaos. Having crazy strangers in our house. Random people that she doesn't even know. But because they have the Hawaiian last name or the Polynesian heritage, you know, the bloodline, everyone's an open door for her. Anyone that has Polynesian blood was allowed in my house without even communicating to me. I would come in, and just some woman she's like, oh, she's gonna caretake. She's my cousin. She's a billionaire because she's, you know, she's an heir. Just crazy talk. But you know, that lady, the people she kept bringing into the house, it's dangerous. But she never talked to me about it, ever asked me, hey, can this one stay? This is the problem. Hey, if somebody is having a hard time and they're hard up, then as you know, husband, wife, you talk about those things and you discuss it amongst each other, and whatever the decision is, you respect it. That's, you know, just bypass that. She just went straight to having people come in. When she hooked up with some guy on the Big Island, which was, you know, another story. When this all started, when she did that, she committed adultery like 4 times, which of course you never hear from her, because in her mind we were, you know, not together. Like all of a sudden, a marriage of 15 years is, you know, because we're having trouble, it's a freedom to go, you know, jump pony on some donkey, you know, whatever. She'll have to live with that, and she'll have to face the consequences someday from karma. That was damn gonna happen to her. But anyways, so the kids were like, no, keep her in there. And my daughter kind of saw the whole thing, you know. I can't remember if I mentioned that before, but my daughter witnessed a majority of that scuffle. And, you know, out of respect for her, I asked if she wanted to go to court. But I knew she shouldn't be there, and I wouldn't ever have her there, even if it would be the difference between, you know, guilty or not guilty. But, you know, she can't handle that, and I would never put her through that. But I did have to ask, as it's, you know, I don't want to not give her the option, you know. I think that's the right thing to do. But she witnessed Ava going crazy, so, you know, Ava can, and right now she's out there saying that I put my paws on her, and you know, she's kind of humble about the situation, which is good. I don't know how long that's gonna last, to be honest. And I also mentioned earlier that she assaulted a neighbor, and she didn't take her community service, so she had to go back to court. And in court, she pled no contest. She had to pay restitution, and she took the 1 day of jail that she had already spent anyway. So it was kind of, she got off with just having to pay restitution. And my comment was, she's not going to pay restitution. And she had a live, I think it was on TikTok, and somebody had screen recorded it and showed me, and she talked about it, and she said that she's never going to pay him. And that's exactly what I said, because I know her better than anyone else. So anyways, getting back on the path here, she you know, she was ready to plead. And I could have done it, because do I want to sit in court for days and be like, I've been up like nonstop trying to catch up with laundry, so I didn't benefit from this whatsoever. In my opinion, she paid a consequence of being in jail for a week. But I wanted her to psychologically go through the entire process, so she faces reality and she's not in her little dream world that she's untouchable, which has been forever. So that's the deal. But I wanted to touch base and make sure everyone knew that she came and her lawyer, they were ready to plea. And the only reason we didn't is because I said no, I want to go all the way, because I wanted the whole process. Again, not to keep reiterating it, but that's what was really important to me, and it was really for her benefit and her future. Because if she didn't go through that process, she didn't learn anything, you know. And that's one thing she used to always get mad at me about. She used to always get mad at me. Why you always have to teach me a lesson? You're not my father. She calls me controlling. I didn't control anything. You know, I failed at control, to be honest. Like, I let her do way too much stuff. My heart was too good. I wanted, because she was so 16 years apart, I felt like, okay, she got married at 22. She hasn't really gone out and enjoyed her life as much as single, and I'm confident in myself. So she would go out at night. She wouldn't come home. This one time she was on the Big Island. She called me in the morning to say hi, and I look at her. She's got a sheet on, but it looks like she has no clothes underneath. And I go, "Are you naked?" She goes, "Yeah, but you know I sleep naked." I'm like, "Not in another man's house." I'm like, can you imagine if I slept over some woman's house that you don't know, and you call me in the morning and I've got no clothes on in bed? I mean, that's the kind of shit that happened. And you know, I failed, I guess, but I just trusted her so much. I never thought she'd do shit like that. But that's what narcissists do. You know, they always cheat, and they're manipulative. And you know, when you have a kind heart and you're trying to do the right thing, you don't ever think that would happen. I would tell people all the time, there's no way she'd ever cheat on me. Ever. You know, it is what it is. And a quick update on her, because I don't want to talk too long. It's been already over 12 minutes. But I guess she posted something about how she never loses in court, and, you know, boost her ego a little bit. We're going to see how divorce court goes. And I'm going to make another blog about that, because I got to tell you, I'm going to be ruthless with divorce court. You know, she hasn't learned a lesson, then I have to teach her that. And I will. And I had said prior, she's not running from that. I have so much stuff, and it's all divorce court all day long. You can show everything you've got, you know. But that's it. She was ready to plea. That's how nervous she was. That's how nervous her lawyer was. And her lawyer, come to find out, and I said before that it was his first trial. I guess his dad is some big name guy, and he was watching the video of the trial. And of course, during breaks, he must be talking to his dad. And of course he should. His dad's a badass lawyer, and he wants advice, and his dad's going to say, hey, this is what you do. This is why probably when we didn't put the second video in for evidence, his dad's like, oh, that's an opportunity, use it against them. And in hindsight, if I had it to do over again, I would have been told the prosecutor, we need to put that back in. We just, honestly, the one that we didn't use was better for me than the one we did use, because the one we did use, I was so upset that she had hit me twice. She threw a pot at me and then came after me through the table. So now I'm like, I'm pissed too, you know? So I get up and I grab her and I'm with the restrainer. I never hit her, ever. And I could have beat the shit out of her. I could have elbowed her in the face. I could have punched her. I could have mangled her. But if I did, what would have happened? I would have been the one arrested. You know, so I still have my mind right, even in those situations. But I was pissed. And I was holding on the ground. I'm like, you think you're fucking tough? You think you're fucking tough? And that's on the video. And that's when I lost. Somehow it went off. And then I realized it wasn't recording. And then I'm still, you know, after she tells me she can't breathe. And then I can't remember exactly when, but I tried to put the phone back on. Yeah, it was before that. So I was able to get back on while we were wrestling on it. So it was pretty quick. It was less than a minute. But still, you know, it makes me look like I'm kind of, I guess, aggressive. But who the fuck is going to sit there and let a pot be thrown at him while you almost got... I mean, it's just crazy, this shit. But it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. entire family she doesn't even talk to, which is disgusting and sad. But that's it. 15 minutes. I'm way past. I'm on overtime. I should be fired. Talking too much. But again, thanks for everybody. I've gotten such great emails. I mean, such amazing emails and messages via, you know, Facebook and Instagram. I'm just like, wow, thank you. And one guy that wasn't even like, we were really friends in high school, he's like, bro, I watched the entire thing, and he went through a whole explanation about, you know, that's how it is, and it's tough for guys to be held accountable. But just the support is really important, you know, and I appreciate it. So this is also a thank you to all of you again. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love you guys. You know, I feel it. It's important that we all feel that love and appreciation, you know. I really appreciate it. But that's it. I gotta head back to the laundromat and do another big customer, and then I can relax a little bit tomorrow, which I'm gonna take advantage of. But that's it, everybody. Thanks again, and until we meet again, much aloha.